Dear children, this is a statement what I wrote on board given by Joseph Priestley after doing a bell jar experiment, series of bell jar experiments in year 1770. What is this? Plants restore air. Yes or no? Plant is restoring air. Water, breathing animals and burning candle removes. So if the question is underlined from breathing animal and burning candle remove, what is the answer? Oxygen. Removed by breathing animal, burning candle. What if this is underlined? The first one is underlined. Plants restore the air. What it is restored? Oxygen. So the statements are very important in examination. Generally, only statements will be given with the inverted commas. Who gave this statement in which condition? Joseph Priestley given while doing bell jar experiment in 1770 to know the essential role of air in the growth of green plants. Now we already saw one statement about water and photosynthesis relation made by Von Helmont in the previous sessions. What Von Helmont given about water? Water is essential to increase plant mass. Plants restore the air. Water, breathing animals and burning candle remove. This is by Priestley. So here about which kind of air given importance, which kind of gas given importance? Yes, nothing but called oxygen. But the name oxygen was not discovered by Mr. Priestley. So he gave that gas is present which makes candle to burn and rat to move. So that was discovered. A restoring gas is there. But this was discovered. This was given a statement. The statement was given that something is restored by plant in the year 1774. So what happened in the 1774? Oxygen was discovered, but it is not named. Discovered in which name? A type of air restored by plant. A type of air restored by plant. That much given information about oxygen in 1774. But in 1775, a scientist called Lavoisier, who named oxygen. The name oxygen was given by the great scientist called Lavoisier. So oxygen was discovered by the two different nearby questions. Oxygen was discovered by Priestley, but he is not named. Which name is given to oxygen by Priestley? The plants restoring air, which makes a candle to burn and animal to live. That is the name given by him. But it is named as oxygen in the next year called 1775 by Mr. Lavoisier. So this is about the relation between air and photosynthesis. Yes, here one gas is taken by plant, that is called carbon dioxide. One gas is released by air, released by plant, that is called oxygen. Still we have some more experiments to prove plants release oxygen. Here it is proved that plants release oxygen. But we need to know one more experiment, that is plants take carbon dioxide. So here it is not proved that plants take carbon dioxide. What is proved here by bell jar experiments? Plants restore oxygen, which makes animal to breathe and candle to burn. That we will come to know in the further experiments. Dear children, plants continuously releasing, restoring a gas into the atmosphere called oxygen. And we also know that by the work of great scientists, we also know that plants take carbon dioxide. But it is also an invisible activity. Can we see that carbon dioxide is going inside the plants? We cannot. At the same time, we cannot see oxygen is coming out. So now we are doing an experiment to prove that plants take carbon dioxide and undergo photosynthesis to prepare glucose and store the glucose as starch. Before knowing this experiment of taking carbon dioxide and preparing glucose and storing starch, let us know how the plants will take carbon dioxide and leave oxygen. What is this process generally called taking one material and giving another material? That is called as exchange. Taking and giving is called exchange. In the same way, the exchange of gases is a very important activity for a plant to survive. So it has to take one gas and it has to release another gas. The same thing is happening in us also, but gases are different. We take one type of gas and we release another type of gas. Exchange is taking place in every organism. Exchange of gases. We take oxygen and we release carbon dioxide in a process called respiration. But in this process called photosynthesis, the present issue called photosynthesis, the plants also should take a gas and to remove another gas called carbon dioxide and oxygen. That is called as exchange of gases. How it takes place? In us, exchange takes place through nose, lungs and so many things. We will see later. But plants doesn't have a holes called nose and lungs. But they do also perform the exchange of gases. So you studied in the previous class about that. If you observe a leaf structure under microscope, on the lower surface of leaf has two surfaces. Upper surface which is exposed to sunlight and the lower surface which is not exposed to sunlight. Generally on the lower surface of leaf, they have small tiny openings, microscopic openings are there. I think you know well, they are called as stomata. So stomata are the openings used for exchange of gases through which they take carbon dioxide and they leave oxygen, which is called as exchange of gases. So leaves will do exchange of gases with stomata. What about stem and roots? Every part of plant body need gases to take in and to leave. On stem and roots, they have some loosely arranged tissues. Tissues are there. Loosely arranged cells are there. With that loosely spongily arranged tissues, they take in air and leave out carbon dioxide. They take in one gas and leave out another gas. We will see in the further discussions about this in detail in the second lesson called respiration. How stem and roots have the loose tissues for the exchange of gases. But our discussion is up to leaf in this first lesson about photosynthesis in the exchange of gases. The plants, leaves exchange of gases through stomata of, leaves exchange the gases or plants exchange the gases in a process of photosynthesis through stomata of leaf. Where do stomata are present? On the lower surface of leaf, not in the upper surface. Why it is not present we will see later in the further classes. So stomata are present only in the lower surface. Now we are doing an experiment. Already by Priestley's experiment it is proved oxygen comes out of green parts which makes animal to breathe and objects to burn. Now we are doing the next experiment to know CO2, carbon dioxide is necessary for a leaf or a plant to do a process called photosynthesis and to prepare glucose and then to store the glucose as starch. So the experiment is about plants need carbon dioxide. CO2 is important, essential for a plant to do photosynthesis and to store starch. Let us see it.